Spider-Man Far From Home continues on from Spider-Man Homecoming, the terrific movie that really did reinvigorate my excitement for the character. And of course, we're also following on from Avengers Endgame and the rather downbeat points that that movie had. Of course, there is ramifications that are getting into this world, and much like us, much like Peter Parker, we want to get away from that kind of dark and brooding, dramatic elements of the MCU and move on to something a little bit lighter, and we move on a school trip with Peter Parker into Europe. Of course, it's never going to go easy for Peter, and he finds himself at the heart of a battle of cosmic sizes yet again, when all he wants is a summer to go over the trauma that he has suffered. And it's really good. We get back Samuel L. Jackson's character once more as Nick Fury. We get Quentin Beck as Mysterio, a fantastic character that I never really thought would manage to make it onto the big screen, but actually turns out to be really terrific. And of course, we get his classmates back, and they're all fun. They're all like a great community of characters, and it really does elevate this above a lot more of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Some of the best things about this movie have all to do with the character of Peter, and that's where I think the real strengths of Spider-Man Far From Home are. It's within this neurosis and the small nuances that we have within Peter Parker. He's a character who is at odds with himself. You know, he has some sort of issues, he has trauma that's quite apparent and he's quite open about, but he also has other feelings going on. He's dealing with multiple different urges and feelings going on within his body. He has that attraction to MJ. He has the nerves, the insecurity about what he can do to progress that relationship the way he wants to do it. We get his friendship with Ned, who is that friend that's always there, that's always trying to come up with wacky scenarios, and a side story for him that was actually really funny. And that's what this movie has. It's endearing. It is at its heart almost like a John Hughes movie. We are stuck into this high school kid's life as he just struggles to come to terms with his life, but there is a grander story here as well, the superhero nature of it. We get Mysterio in this one, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, who is Quentin Beck, who is a surrogate sort of father figure for Tony Stark in this movie. He kind of stepped into his role a little bit, taking over the kind of mantle of that stepfather figure. And you can really see the connection there between Peter Parker and Quentin as they share these moments together, kind of come together ever so much. It takes a turning point midway through, which really reinvigorates the movie. For the first half, we have Mysterio and Spider-Man fighting the elementals, these giant monsters made of wind, fire, water, that are just totally destructive and unbelievably cool. And then we move into something that's far different from the usual kind of thing we'd expect in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, the movie offers quite a few surprises that I am not going to spoil for you here, just let it known, but there is some good twists and turns along the way that make this a pretty decent follow-up to Homecoming, but just for me, just a little bit under it, because we're missing the villain like the Vulture. You know, the Michael Keaton character from Homecoming, who was a fantastic character, who wasn't out for global domination, who was just telling a small story. And that's what this feels like. It starts off like, that turns into a great Earth disaster that has to be averted. I would like a smaller story. When the movie ends, it leaves you with some good cliffhangers that are leading on to the next episode, and this has reinvigorated my love for Spider-Man. I love the look of him, the swinging, the special effects are all fantastic. Going through the city is tremendous. That teen angst is just perfectly portrayed on screen by Tom Holland, and all in all, we get a really fun, a really interesting and light-hearted follow-up to Endgame, something that we need, a kind of palate cleanser before we move on to Phase 4. I really enjoyed Far From Home. It isn't as good as Homecoming as yet. Maybe after a couple more watches it may be up there, but for me, just now, it is a solid 4 out of 5. I would love to know your thoughts on Far From Home. Let me know in the comment box below your favourite Spider-Man movie, and I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.